Hello there, my name's Whitney. Every year around this time, everyone starts rushing around so they can get their paperwork done for the Boonville Oneida County Fair. So today I decided to take you step by step on how you needed to complete your paperwork to enter your projects into the fair. But first, if you'd like to think ahead, in the beginning of the 4-H year, take a look at the project medal requirements. This way you can tell how many projects you'll need to earn medals at the end of the year. Like if you would like to earn an arts and craft project medal, you need to enter at least 3 arts and craft projects. There's other criteria you need to earn your medals, but since this video is not about that, I'm not going to be discussing it. Before I begin diving into the paperwork, which isn't that deep, there's a tool you're going to need. This is the fair book. And I know when you flip through this the first time, it's going to seem like a lot of information coming at you at once. And it is, but if you can just take 10 minutes to give it a quick flip through, you're going to find you learn a lot. Especially in the first 10 or 15 pages, as that contains a lot of rules and regulations that everyone must follow. Now, everything I mentioned in this video, whether it has to do with paperwork or anything else, you're going to be able to find on the CCE Oneida website. You can either view it there or you can print it. I've decided to print everything for this video, and especially the fair book, as I find that it's easier to actually locate things that you're going to need, such as information and numbers. I have taken the time to add tabs to my book, so this way I can find different sections faster. If you do not feel like doing this, you do not have to worry. There is a table of contents as soon as you open the book. When filling out paperwork, you're going to need to find a section and class number for each of your projects. That is what this is for. It has all the information on all the different sections and class numbers. But what's a section? What's a class number? Just a minute, I'm going to tell you. Section is basically what something is. Like this project, my example project, is an arts and craft project. So when I open my fair book, I'm going to go to Fine Arts and Fine Crafts, because arts and crafts. This section is labeled DB. Class numbers specify exactly what a project is. For this project, I'm going to consider it a painting project. So my section is going to be DB, and my class number is going to be 1B. Because 1 contains paintings, drawings, graphics, and prints, but B specifies it as painting, because I did quite a lot of painting on this guy. Every time you enter a project into the Boonville Fair, you need to fill out 2 pieces of paperwork. The first thing is an entry card and then an entry statement. These are extremely important and mandatory for every single project. First, let's talk about the entry card. When filling this out, on the top you need to circle whether you are a 4-H'er or a Cloverbud. Then you need to fill out what your name is. Next, you need to put your address. And I know some of you are not going to want your address out there, but it's really not going to show, and also it's a mandatory piece of information we need for paperworking purposes. Next, you need to fill out your club name, then your years in project area. Now, some people get a little confused about this part. It's not about how many years you've been in 4-H. It's how many years you've done this sort of project. Let's take another example. For the past 5 years, I've entered a memory book. So if I was entering this and filling out an entry card for it, I would put number 5 for years in this project area. Then you need to put your age as of January 1st of the current year. Then you need to fill out your section and class number. Finally, you need to fill out what your exhibit title is. You're going to need to fill out this information on the top as well as the bottom. Next is the entry statement, and this is going to be your only chance to tell the judge exactly what you did to put this project together, problems you might have had and how you overcame them, or specific details you'd like them to know. When the judges are judging your projects, they're not just judging the project, they're also judging you on your card. So you need to make sure you're using proper grammar, correct spelling, and a lot of detail. If I was filling out the entry statement for this project, the first question is, what would I like the judge to know about how I put this project together? I'm going to make sure I tell them about how I had to put a base coat on here, how I had to cut out my fins on the sides to be exactly the same so it was symmetrical. I'm going to tell them why exactly I chose these colors. I decided that I wanted this to look like a tropical fish, so I gave it tropical bright colors. I'm also going to be telling them how I got to use a new tool, how to make these brilliant dots on the sides, or how hard it was to use the glue gun on the top for the fins. Next question, what are 2 skills that I learned or improved upon? Well, the first skill I learned was how to actually make my own pattern to cut out my fins to be exactly the same, so it's symmetrical. I'm going to tell you, how did I make the patterns? Which kind of paper did I use? Did I use tracing paper or regular old craft paper? The next question asks, briefly describe any challenges you might have had and how you overcame them. One major problem I had was I couldn't keep the fins separated. So what did I do? I put little pieces of foam in between each individual fin so they stuck out and looked more realistic in 3D. Another challenge I had to overcome. When I was putting this base coat on, I couldn't set it down to let it dry. What did I do? I ended up making a hook out of the lid top and I ended up hanging it so it could drip dry. That might be a brilliant tip to let someone know. So I'm going to put it on my card so they know I overcame that challenge and look at the finished product. Last question. How did I come up with the idea for this project? Well, actually, I didn't come up with the idea. Our group ended up going on a field trip to a fish farm. When we got back, we were looking for crafts to do that were fish themed. My group leader ended up finding this little thing on Pinterest and we decided to copy it for ourselves. To finish up the entry statement, you need to fill out the top part, which is actually kind of like the entry card. You need to fill out your name, the county you're from, the section and class number, years working in project area, as well as the name of the exhibit. And finally, the variety. If you follow these tips, you should successfully finish your entry statement. After you've completed both entry card and statement, you're going to need to first cut out the entry card, and then you're going to need to attach them to your project. My favorite way to attach my paperwork to my project is to simply take a hole punch through both of them, tie a black string, and then tie it directly to my project. If you have something that's flat, like a picture or a poster display, then you can simply tape it onto the back. I hope that this video has helped and encouraged everyone to enter their projects into the Boonville Oneida County Fair. I can't wait to see you and your projects there. Bye!